All right, guys, we are live.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
I don't want to talk to any of you guys. I didn't get a chance to go to the Bahamas.
Now, isn't jealousy a sin?
It sure is.
Not today.
Not
What's
today.
today's topic? What's today's topic?
Jealousy and sin.
I guess we changed it. We called an audible on the line. No, our topic today is coincidences and divine appointments.
Okay.
Coincidences and divine appointments. So we were supposed to do part 3 of what's important to Americans, which
Right.
was specifically community. And we will definitely cover, because when you move from 62 to 27%,
That's dramatic.
in terms of what's important, your society has lost its love for one another. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Man, the woman painting the barn outside today. Don't know her from that. Just met her. She was here when we were at the wedding. And she said, this world is so crazy. Being here is so peaceful. I said, thank you.
Yeah. Wow. Isn't that the truth? However, since we just came back from the Bahamas, at least 3 of us here, and if Brigade it was 4, and we celebrated Gianna and Martino's wedding.
Yes.
Hey, we have some photos. So let's see if Martin can remember where each photo came from. So, all right, let's see.
Here we go.
Gianna, you can't talk. Okay, Martino, where's this? No, you got to turn it the other way.
That would be the white party.
And what was the white party?
The welcome party.
Yes. All right. Yeah, you see everybody in there? So all the way on. Would that be their left or their right? Looking at it.
That'll be their left.
Yes.
Yeah.
Start with
You're on
Graham
your. You're on their left.
I'm on their left. So where would I be?
Pastor Bruce, Gianna, Martino, and Cheryl.
My lovely wife Cheryl. Right. That was the welcome party. We were all dressed in white. We got directions from your wife. It was a white party. All right. What's the next one? Okay, Martino, you remember that?
That was entering the sacred place before I said I do.
That's correct. That was the processional right there. All right. Next. Letting you guys see some cool photos. Look at that. Now, who's that?
Stellar.
Yes. The bride, Martino, and Brigade.
Yes.
Was that taken before the wedding
That was
or after?
That was
After the wedding? All right. And let's show this.
So cute.
Who are they?
That would be little Gianna and Cheryl.
That is correct. And they both wore orange, so I thought we'd get a picture of
So
them.
cute.
My better half. I can't speak on behalf of Brigade. Sorry, Gigi.
That's great.
I can't. All right, and here we go. That's our last photo. Look at that.
That's awesome.
I have to tell you, Gianna was so stunning. She
was,
came
yeah.
down that aisle of sand looking like, whoo.
I wasn't there.
Where's
when you were so
Mademoiselle?
beautiful.
I'm on the
you.
cover.
So beautiful.
Yeah, she
Thank you
was.
so much.
I was like,
Gorgeous.
look at her.
Stay in the photo. Yeah, she was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely amazing.
She was.
So, how about we see if our viewers have any questions regarding the wedding? If they do, we'll take them. But what the wedding did was give birth to our topic today. Coincidence, because it was something we discussed at length with so many people, and divine appointments. So let's ask our viewers for a definition of coincidence. All right? So before we go to the dictionary, Samad, how would you define coincidence?
Coincidence is something I would say like a moment, wow, okay. I guess it would be 2 situations or 2 moments in where there's a lot of similarity. One situation plays off another, or there's a lot of cohesion.
All right. What do you think, Martin?
Like something like I go to Wawa to get a coffee and the guy in front of me is Egyptian. And I'm like, oh, I'm Egyptian too. That's a coincidence.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm saying there's just cohesion in 2 separate situations.
All right. What do you think, John?
like a circumstance happening that you weren't aware of.
Okay.
Not to be.
All right. Something unplanned.
Yeah,
that
that's
happens.
a good one.
Like a coincidence would be like, "Are you guys just went to the Bahamas to celebrate Martino and G getting married?" But I could have been going to the Bahamas for a family reunion at the same time.
Right.
That's a great
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden
That's
we
cool.
connect while we're there.
Exactly.
You know, I had no idea you were going to be here, but right.
Right.
How about our viewers? Do they have any? Do they have a definition
Well,
for?
Bill asked if it was hot in the Bahamas.
No, it was
It was
gorgeous.
beautiful.
It was what,
Breezy,
low 80s?
80.
Yeah.
One day it was a little chilly.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the low 70s.
It's
and
windy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, a coincidence to me is when something is in your mind makes you think, wow, that's so crazy, but it doesn't have much merit.
All right, but we'll go, okay.
Okay.
There's another definition for that, which does just the opposite, which adds merit to it. So we're going to dig that out.
You know why I said that.
Yeah. So we're going to dig that out. Coincidence. Do we have any definitions yet?
Coincidence. Someone just threw something out their window driving by.
That's not a coincidence.
That's a jerk that I got to pick up trash out.
All right. So, Samaj, read us the dictionary definition of coincidence.
Okay, a remarkable concurrence of events or circumstances without apparent. Is that supposed to be casual? Mm-hmm. Casual connection.
So, remarkable concurrence of events or circumstances without apparent casual connection.
So it's an unwanted connection.
Unmerited.
Well, I don't think it's unwanted. It was unexpected.
Unexpected. Yeah.
Right? Be more unexpected. For instance, they met by coincidence.
Right.
Right? So somebody said, and I love this definition, that coincidence, biblically speaking, is divine coincidence when God acts anonymously.
Love that.
Right? When God acts anonymously. Mm-hmm. So we look back on it and we say, wow, that was a God-ordained event. But we don't know that he's acting until we look back on it and say, it has to be. That had to be divine.
Okay.
Right?
Because it had merit.
Because it had merit. Yeah. No, and that's right. So when Martino said it didn't have merit, that could be the case.
Okay.
But if God puts that together, then it has some merit.
Right, so if two blue Mustangs pull up at a red light at the same time, that's a coincidence. If nothing comes out of it, then there's no merit.
There's no merit.
Right. That's a great point. So it's only when something comes out of it that we look at it and say, wow, God was acting anonymously.
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
So let's do this. Can you give me an illustration of when God acted anonymously in your life?
Definitely.
So, Brigade, we're going to start with you. And let's ask our viewers, can you give us an illustration when God acted anonymously in your life?
We're starting with Brigade?
No. Yeah, Brigade, where are you? Come on. You were supposed to be here. I'm going to get on your case. All right, Samad, we'll start with you.
PB, you got to give me a minute.
I need a minute.
I don't need a minute. I don't need a second. When me and Gianna were at Ellis Island getting the award, and I met the first Black Supreme Justice of New York, and they came up to me and said in front of all these people, and they said, "Wow, you're here for your contribution to cancer." I said, "Yes," and they said she has stage 4 cancer. And in that instant, I knew it was a divine appointment. Me and G got on our knees and we prayed with her in the name of Jesus that she would be healed. And
Right.
It was that Father's Day that I got the text from her daughter that said no evidence of disease.
Yeah.
Divine appointment. Doesn't get any more divine than that.
No, right.
Or I got one. For you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I speak at high schools during the week, and I was speaking at Devford High, and I was invited.
Now, did they let you in on school time?
Oh, after school.
Okay.
After school, but Clearview they let me in on school time.
Do you know, years ago, Williamstown would let me come in on, and I spoke on building relationships that last.
Oh, yeah?
And how to build relationship God's way versus the world's way. And they would let me come in, and I would speak.
I was at AJ and Levi school last week.
Cool.
Yeah, I was at Pittman last week.
All right.
Well, I was speaking at Deptford High, and I was inviting this young lady to youth group. And she said, my grandma said that I'm a part of too many churches. I need to narrow it down. And And I was like, all right, well, at least just have a conversation and let her know. I want to invite y'all. It'll be great. So she tells her grandma about our church, and her grandma says, oh, you can definitely go there. I've seen the plays there a million times. I love their ministry. And I thought that was amazing. Like, I was like, wait a minute. Your grandma was just saying you can't come because you're a part of too many churches, but because it's our church, you could be a part.
Yeah.
I thought that was a coincidence.
God-given coincidence.
A God-given coincidence, yeah.
How about you, Jen?
I think this is one.
Okay.
When we were in the Bahamas, when we left to go off resort, we got into this taxi. Now, because you were there. So there's security because it's a Sandals private all-inclusive resort. When you leave, you have to give your room number, the taxi. They know you come back.
Right.
So when we were leaving, while we're pulling up to security, the taxi's like, I have another appointment. So I'm going to drop you off outside of the gate and somebody else I have waiting for you and they're going to take you. And he had his jewelry on and I was like, no. He was still driving down the street. I'm like, please let me out. And security, we told them right away and they went up to him. They were like, you're not allowed to do that. You can't do anything with permission. We check every taxi tag number that comes in here along with our guest.
Yeah.
So I was freaked out. Another taxi came through and we're driving and a house. And it looked like an abandoned house. There was a wood on the windows, and it said, Jesus loves you. And I felt so calm in the taxi after
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
And I should have took a picture, but it just happened so fast.
Right.
But I was like, we're safe now. But, that first taxi got me a little
I
nervous.
jumped right out of that car.
Yeah.
Jumped right out.
But the fact that you saw the sign, that's when God acts anonymously.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He could have taken a different route, right? But God wanted to let you know that
Which
He
was
had
so
you covered.
cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Any other thoughts from our audience? I have a few divine appointments which were coincidence with God acted on. I think just meeting my wife.
Sure.
For instance, we were going to a church, been going there all my life, and Dad was watching Jerry Falwell, and Jerry Falwell had a bus ministry, and they'd pick up kids. And he heard about this church in Williamstown that was running a bus ministry, and they'd pick kids up, and they'd bring them to Sunday school on Sundays. So he decided to go on Sunday nights, and I went on a Sunday night. Remember, it was on Howard Drive. In fact, the pastor is Pastor Blake's grandfather.
Oh, wow.
He was only in his 20s at the time.
Who worked directly with Jerry Falwell.
At the time.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And he was the preacher. They just hired him, or maybe he hired at 26. So I'm not sure when we went, but Howard Drive, the church, OBBC, started to really grow. And we were Sunday night, and it was packed. And I saw Cheryl come up the right aisle. I can remember it clear as could be. I remember what she had on. I remember she had these platform shoes, and her skirt was, I remember brown, and she had this green top with brown buttons. Oh, man, she looked like she walked out of Sears catalog. Woo! She was smoking. But anyway, but I saw her, and that's where I met her. And I would have never, I think the whole thing was divine. Same way with a church property. Look, my wife saw that in a dream.
Wow.
We're riding by and had no for sale sign on it. 3 calls in one day. And I said to Cheryl, we're going to go look at that property. I don't think this is coincidence that 3 people called us and said there's this property for sale on Chapel Heights Road.
Wow.
And we went. I didn't recognize it. No for sale sign was horses all where those houses are now.
Really?
Horse farms.
Wow.
Yeah. And Cheryl said, oh, wow, I saw this in a dream. I remember the horses. And we turned around, and that was the property. And we called, we found out who owned it. It was a Jewish guy, and he said, I'll sell it to you for $108,000. Can you believe that? 18 acres for $108,000 in Washington Township.
Jeez.
We didn't have the money. I said, we don't have the money. We've only been in existence for a few years. We got $30,000 in the bank. I said, that's it. Wow. And you know what he said to us? Don't worry about it. He said, my sister will put up the money for you. Put up the money. We paid her off in 6 months.
Wow.
People took their savings. My dad was one of them, and said, hey, listen, I'm going to give you part of my savings. You don't have to pay me interest. And when you get it, pay me back. And we had everybody paid back within a year.
Wow.
And we had that whole property book. That, when those 3 phone calls were a coincidence, right? Mm-hmm. When God acts anonymously.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing's true of Pastor Blake.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 5 years we're looking, and his grandfather calls me up and says, hey, I think my grandson would be perfect for Gloucester County.
But isn't that still a play on how... What was that?
That's the peacock saying amen.
Yeah, amen. Listen to him. They're
Isn't that
preach
still,
it, brother.
Oh, we gotta talk about that.
Yeah.
isn't that still a play on still kind of how you met Cheryl?
Yeah, right. I mean, I met Cheryl at
Blake's
OBBC.
grandfather.
We went there. I got a vision for souls. In the holiness movement, every church teaches you something, right? That's why we're interdenominational, not non-denominational.
Right.
In the holiness movement, there was a conviction of sin. Because, I mean, that was the only thing we looked at, sadly. But then when I went to the Baptist church, it was for souls. They had this heart for souls. How many people were on the bus today? How many people gave their lives to the Lord? How many people were baptized? That was their thrust.
Were you shouting?
No, we weren't shouting Baptist. We were just Baptist. There were a few amens. And then, when I met the charismatic movement, they had this love for everybody. Just had an unconditional love for people. And that's how we put GCCC together.
Yeah.
With those three components. And it's still there today.
For sure.
Yeah. So I thought we would reflect upon your wedding and see if we can name a divine appointment. So Gianna gave us one.
Wait, Willis Canada said, but God, I remembered before the theater.
And I remember Willis Canada.
Yeah, Willis. Thanks for tuning in.
That's my guy. Because I'm lost in the presence of the sweet Holy Ghost. That's my guy, Willis.
Yes, Willis.
Let
me ask Willis this question. So Willis, I know that you did, a lot of your work was among Native Americans who had a huge suicide rate because he would purchase cases of my books. Let us know if you're still doing work among Native Americans. He did that. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead, Martino.
I think when we planted a seed, we were getting a snack at the airport, and I asked the woman if she was Muslim, and she said she was. And I said to her, do you know the only difference between all religions but Christianity? And I sat there and I explained it to her. And again, I don't think that she was accepting it at the moment, but for some reason I can still see her face and I feel like the seed was planted.
Yeah.
You know?
And Martin and Gianna, I have to tell you, there were so many divine appointments at your wedding.
I think so too.
I
We
mean,
met so many
do you realize that I had never met Paula in all 14
I can't
years?
believe
Wow.
that.
And because of Steve, that's how we met. And we discussed faith at length. Wow. I mean, at length. From so many different perspectives.
Wow.
And I know that whole thing, that God's timing was God's timing. There was a reason why it was then and not 14 years ago.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a divine appointment. Was a coincidence when God acted anonymously. And then remember the one guy on the beach when he was questioning like all these religions because he'd been to India and
The
all.
guy from New York?
Yeah. Remember? And we said, well, no, that was Jerry and his wife, but one in your party.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah, I wasn't
Steve
going to name him,
Fuller.
but yeah. But I mean, he got, and we said that same thing. All religions say you earn it. Only Christianity says God did it for you. And that's just something people miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Willis
if
said
you're just good, all ways lead to heaven. Yeah, you get that all the time.
Willis said he's still working with the natives.
Oh, wonderful, Willis. Let me know if you need another shipment of books. I'll give you a special. For every one you buy, I'll give you one free. How's that? So, have any other thoughts? I gave away 2 shirts. Hijack light shirts.
How about how many people liked your
Oh,
shirt?
my gracious. Especially the one that says, why are you telling me that?
Yeah.
You know, and they would
People
walk
taking
around. I
pictures.
can't tell you how many people would walk around me. They'd like stare at my shirt, and then I could tell they were walking around. They wanted to see what was on the back. And so this one guy, Simon, he was mopping the floors, and he says, "I love your shirt." And I think it was the one I had, "Live for Jesus," and even a bad day would be a bad day. So I said to him, "So which shirt do you like, this one or the other one?" Well, the one lived for Jesus kind of tells it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that right there tells you, that gives you the answer. Some people don't even walk around because it just says live for Jesus. They don't realize what the back says.
Right.
And he says, I'll take that. I'll take that one about gossip. So I said, all right. So I brought it down. I said, now it needs to be washed, but turn it inside out, wash it.
That's awesome.
And then when we were in the Italian restaurant, what was that? Tarsara?
Oh, Tesora?
Tesora,
Yeah, the guy was a Christian, and he says, I love your shirt. And I says, okay. So what size do you take? He said a small. I can't believe it. He was, but you take a medium, and you're tall. So he was just really. I said, okay. I only have a large. I'm going to give it to you. I said, but I'll get you a small, and I'll get you one in long sleeve and one in short sleeve because he wanted one each. So I have to mail them out.
That's awesome.
That is great.
So many divine appointments. People in your wedding party. I mean, people on the beach. It was just wonderful.
It really was.
I mean, wonderful.
It was.
So, will we have any other divine appointments? How about you, Gianna? Do you have any besides what we've talked about? Well, I think your reverend was a divine appointment.
Oh, he was great.
He was great.
Yeah. Reverend Roy, what's his last name? Burroughs.
Burroughs.
There were two reverends in the ceremony?
Well, he had to,
By law.
by law, he had to sign it. But he was so funny. He gave me, how about that introduction? We're here for a special purpose. He was all, he said, and the Reverend Dr. Bruce Sophia. And I thought, wow, I'm bringing him home with me. Let him introduce me. It made me feel like $1 million. So let's talk about biblical scenarios of that demonstrate divine appointments. So viewers, if you could think of a divine appointment, or what we call when God acts anonymously, a coincidence in the Bible. So can you think of any, Samaj?
Your favorite scene, Uncle Marty?
What, do you have one?
Well, I have a lot of favorites, but first came to mind was Moses parting the Red Sea.
Oh, that's definitely a divine appointment.
He showed up.
Yeah.
I was thinking Daniel and the lions then.
I was thinking the woman at the well.
Okay.
That's
I think that's one of the greatest divine appointments
That's
of all time.
That was mine.
That was yours?
Yeah, it was. It has to be. I mean, he shows up. This woman has this spotted past, right? And she becomes the first evangelist. And it's a woman.
Yep. And that's when Jesus really established. And I was talking to the kids about this last night because we're going over Ladies of the Bible, and I said this is when Jesus kind of really publicly established that you don't wait for the harvest. The harvest starts now, and you do that with your neighbor. Like he says, the planter and the gardener. I think he says they're both working together and they're rejoicing at the end of the day.
Well, did you ever see that scene in The Chosen?
Which one? I watched the whole
That
thing.
is the most moving scene
Oh,
in
yeah,
my
the woman
opinion.
at the well?
And the Nicodemus one. But that was
Yes.
the most moving scene. It brought me to tears. I literally could not keep back.
I cried every
I
episode,
love
I
The
think.
Chosen. And Moses.
great show.
Think of all the divine appointments when God showed up for Moses. I mean, the rod, the snake, the bush, and there's so many.
Right. But in this case, that woman at the well, it was like that kind of disguised itself as a coincidence. But then when you see it in The Chosen, how she went that time of day when nobody was there because of her past.
But he knew she was
But
going
he
to be there.
knew, and he shows up. Oh, wow, I'm about to cry now just thinking about it. And he shows up because he knew. And how he just probed her with those questions. Go tell your husband. I don't have one. He says, yeah, I know. Just bringing her to the place where she had to admit she was a sinner.
Yeah.
Believe in him. It's the greatest salvation story in the
Yeah,
Bible. I mean, admit, believe, commit, do it today. She went back and brought the whole town.
But
She did.
The part that makes me so emotional is that Jesus literally says, even to, I believe he says it to his disciples after. He says, don't you people have a saying? And he uses their lingo back at them. But he says, the harvest starts now.
And think of how he broke the rules, though. And can I say, those coincidences break the rules.
Oh, yeah.
Coincidences that are God-given, when he acts anonymous, almost always break the rules.
Of course.
Here's a man with a woman alone at a well.
Sure.
I mean, in every way, kind of breaks it. I was thinking too, Eliezer and Rebecca.
Okay.
Remember when he prayed and he shows up at the well, and the women showed up, and he knew which one, and she said exactly what he wanted, and it was all set into motion by God.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That's another divine appointment.
Yeah,
That's a major divine appointment.
Yeah. All right. So, anybody have any suggestions on divine appointments from the Bible or divine appointments in their life today?
Yes.
All right. All right. So, you have a closing thought?
Yeah. You always say if you have one true friend, you've been blessed by God. Oprah was interviewing Michelle Obama and said, you can come over and, for lunch and, bring a couple of friends. So later on, Michelle Obama called Oprah and said, I'll be bringing 12 people with me. She said, you have 12 friends? She said, I only have one. The only person I know with 12 friends was Jesus, and even one of them betrayed him. I laughed so hard. I was like, go ahead, Oprah. That was funny. But anyway, just a nice laugh.
Yeah. How about you, Samaj? Any final thoughts?
I just think God is just, God is just really good. I mean, these past couple of weeks have been amazing. I mean, I feel like He moves the best in those moments, those divine appointments. I feel like if you really read almost every story, even especially every major story in the Bible, there's a divine appointment somewhere. And I think God gives us divine appointments without us even realizing that they're divine appointments. And that's something that's really key. So
how about you, Gianna?
God is good, and when you're in the moment and come across that divine appointment, it's truly a humbling, life-changing moment, for sure.
That's a great thing to say. It is humbling.
It is, and it validates and makes your faith stronger because you know without a shadow of a doubt that you either met that person because God put them in your life, or this situation happened because God made it happen. I think of just this property alone, when the big King David statue just shows up. The guy didn't even know it was King David. He thought it was a Greek god. I said, that's a shepherd boy that slayed a giant, and I meet him on this property. Our friend Jerry just
Two
pulled
things.
up.
Rob Layson said, your stories are amazing. Thanks, guys. And Bill said, working on the farm for me. He's been by
great job!
Bill works.
Oh, works. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a big help while we were away.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Well, if you were to look back over your career, you would see so many divine appointments.
So many.
Things you
so
didn't
many.
expect, surprises along the way. The same thing with you, Samaj. Just look at your life. You go back and you go, wow. Yeah. All these coincidences. No, it's when God acted anonymously.
No doubt. Showed up when you needed him the most.
Yeah.
Hey, remember to share this, like it, and if you have a topic that you would like us to discuss, make sure you put it in the comments, and Gianna will let Pastor Bruce know. Speaking of Pastor Bruce, what is this weekend's sermon about?
Well, I think it's the first time ever that Lisa, Pastor Blake's wife, will be preaching.
Oh, well, that's nice.
So it's Mother's Day. Kind of snuck up on us this year.
It did sneak up.
Yeah. So, speaking of Mother's Day...
Carbonation in the nostrils is not good.
All right, for you guys...
Wait, why did he write two? Did he know what you were going to say?
No.
That's a coincidence.
No.
He said he's coming to the farm at 3 a.m. and say
No.
That's a coincidence.
That's a prophetic word. Thank you, William. Gianna's going to have twins. That's a prophetic word, too. See it?
I need more volunteers on the farm, please.
She needs a full-time nanny if she has two. All right.
Oh, Lord help us. On that note, 1, 2, 3.
Live for Jesus, and even a bad day will be a good day.
Don't forget, we have a shirt that says that, along with, why are you telling me that? You turn around, it says stop gossip.
That's your shirt.
We'll get it to you.
We love you all. See you all
Have
next
a
week.
great week.